Chroniclers of Chaos contains profanity, violence, and occasional adult situations. It is not meant for people under the age of 18. Viewer and listener discretion is advised, but hey, I won't tell if you won't.
Batten down the hatches, crew! It's bound to be a rough one!
You heard the captain. No time to waste. Move to your stations.
But I'm the captain! Well, I work for him at least.
Would you really like to fight her for this ship? It's a pretty low blow to start the mutiny in a hurricane. Shut up.
Hey, watch where you're swinging your tail, arsehole.
I heard that, you know.
Who turned out the lights?
Now, no more games, Craith. That's not very funny at all.
Damn it all. And here I was, keeping an eye on our new friend. I know it's going to be hard for you to believe, but it wasn't me. This time.
To Secrets of Skyhorn Lighthouse, the Fiend, Session 3. I'm your Calypso of Chaos, Chelsea, and with me are my sexy seafarers. Say hello, sexy seafarers.
Hello, sexy seafarers.
Hello.
And I realized last session I did not call you all sexy seafarers. I am so sorry that I forgot the alliteration we came up with. I was caught up in the moment. I apologize, but yes, we are the sexy seafarers. And once again, I would love to introduce our wonderful cast. So please, everyone, introduce yourselves. Whoever goes first, take center stage. No one does.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence. Just go ahead. Go ahead. I let you take control now.
I'm Sarah, and I play Dagon, a rogue. That's it.
Love it. Forget the water genasi part, but love it.
I'm Teacup, and I play Lady Adeline Peregrine, and I'm wearing Dagon's shirt.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Travis, I'm playing Craith, Verin, the tiefling artificer psychopath.
I love how you've just embraced that title. Love it.
Resident psychopath.
We love our psychopath.
Yes, we do.
And then I'm Ota. I play Lain, the warlock rogue. Resident PNG tuber.
I have so
I
many.
do not
so
like
many
to be perceived physically.
Yes. And last but not least.
Last, it's me. Hi. Webby from before. I play Kodak.
We love our Kodak.
We love our Kodak.
No class, just Kodak.
Just Kodak. Just Kodak, ignoring the salt, water, crocodile boy fiend. Okay, cool. Oh, and the little lizard. So
There
cute. So cute. Yes. I love it. Oh, I need one of those. Those are adorable. We now open to the scene where it's a little bit more forward in time, because after coming to said island, Sheila had ordered you all to get below deck, because even though you seem to have passed the thickest of the storm, it did not stop. And also, the battle with the eel folk and water elemental did a huge amount of damage to Sheila's ship. So she advised you all to stay underground, rest up, get well, and to dry off before progressing forward while she and the rest of her crew go about the ship and assess the damage. And it is at this time that I decided to be nice and let you all level up. So we're now, we'll say you spent the night trying to rest up to hopefully see if the storm would pass. It is now about morning time. You are all awake. You are all looking around yourselves. You still see that Sheila has not joined you and can hear the thump, 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 thump steps from above as you hear Sheila. How much damage did that water elemental do? Christ. It's gonna take a long time to get out of here, isn't it? And just hear clattering and also chatter of other crewmates trying to fix whatever they can as the whoosh of the wind and crack of the thunder and lightning still goes on around inside you. It's outside of you, excuse me, jeez. By caffeine today. You do notice and see that Mirage has decided to stay under deck, below deck, because seeing that she got a mermaid tail from being exposed to water, probably wouldn't be best if she stood out in the pouring rain. But you see that she is still up bright and early, and she still has some of her scales reflected off of her as she is not fully dried at all. And she's just wiping them off. It's just like, shite. This really is a shite storm, isn't it? And she's trying to brush off her arms and her legs. She's fully dressed, by the way. Don't worry. PG. She's fully dressed, but she's trying to still dry off her body because of her water-like being, seem to retain some of that moisture, and still some of her scales are flared up all around in pieces and parts of her skin, especially now that her cloak has been destroyed because of that water elemental. The time is yours. Who will be the brave soul to go first? I leave it up to you.
You said it's morning?
I will say it's morning. With the whole resting up and long rest, I'll say it's morning at this time. That Sheila wanted to try and await the storm to see if it lessened. And if you look outside through the little portholes, you see that it has a tiny bit, but not by much. This seems to be still pretty serious storm going on outside.
I will say Lain does have a thing.
All right, go ahead.
I'd say this is actually probably would have happened before we rested, but like once we got below deck and we're kind of getting settled, Lain just looks like exhausted. Like, was not so super tired following the battle, but after whatever weird magic-y shit she did, she's just like winded. Like when you've just run a long way and now you're just all your muscles just kind of are just not sore, but just wibbly. And she will kind of plonks herself down next to Kodak and kind of glances over at him, seeing like all of the red areas where like the chains and stuff, especially on his arms and stuff, where the chains were.
Okay.
And she's just going to like look at his arm and like put out her hand, kind of like, gimme.
He like looks over at you from like half lidded up and just the arm ball.
Well, like just plonks his arm just like into both of her hands because like that's what she would need in order to just hold it. And she just very she's going to grab another little thingy of ointment out of her bag. And we'll kind of gently dab it on all of the where it's gotten like actually rubbed kind of raw by where the chains were. And then very gently kind of working from kind of the ends of his fingers up through the palm and then into the wrist and like up the forearm and stuff. She just gently kind of like massaging the skin to help like loosen it up and help improve blood flow and so on. She's just like, if you do this, it helps with the pain, helps the numbness go away faster.
Okay.
But like, she's just a mess. Like her hair is everywhere, but it is also like just soaked. It's half come out of the braid by now. The front of like her tunic, in the fight, like part of like the clasps on the front of it, like the stitching on one side of them has gotten like pulled loose, so it's actually like barely like hanging off of her at this point. Like it's really just the sash that's actually keeping it on.
Yeah, he kind of like takes in this favor that you're doing for him, and that you've relieved him of a curse, and now you're like taking care of him. So he really wants to do something for Lain. And so he kind of looks at like the clasps on your shirt, and do you want me to fix those?
She kind of like she was just sort of like lost in thought for a minute. She like looks up. What? Huh?
Your shirt, it's coming apart.
She like looks down at it, realizing that she hadn't even like really noticed until now. She's like, oh shit, it kind of is, isn't it? I mean, do you know how to?
I can.
I mean, I guess if you're offering.
And like whatever clothing that she offers him, he will take and pull out his weaver's kit, and will start to like reinforce the seams and stitch up any tears in the clothing, and reinforce the clasps as well.
She like undoes her sash. She has to like, you watch as she uncoils this whole like length of golden chain from around it as she undoes it. That you can tell is where the scabbard for the sword hooks onto. And she'll pull off this upper tunic, and underneath you realize that she is actually the bagginess of the tunic kind of hides it somewhat, but she is like very thin. Like there's muscle there. There's definitely muscle like in the arms and in the back and so on, but she is not unhealthily thin, but it's not hard to imagine that she was not so long ago and is in the process of recovering from that. And she will hand over her tunic.
Yeah, I don't know, Chelsea, if you want me to roll for that or not.
No, I love this so much. I'm retconning this to where it's just right after the battle and you guys have just gone back because I love this so much. We'll get to the morning later. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when there's beautiful RPing, okay?
I was just like, this makes more sense if I do this like immediately.
No, it makes a lot more sense. This makes a lot more sense. So we'll say this is right after, but still you're gonna get your long rest and you're gonna level up and all that shit. It actually works. So yeah, thank you, Lain. But yes, Webby, your question. How about we make this a is this like sewing, or is this like clasping, or like crafting? What is this exactly that you're trying to do, Webby?
I'm trying to make a check with my weaver's tools to see if I can like reinforce the garment, essentially.
Cool. All right. Does it say any kind of proficiency that your weaver's tools has? Like, is it like any specific checks?
It doesn't, but I would assume it would be like a dexterity or a performance check.
I was thinking, I'll give you either dexterity or performance, whatever you think is the better of the two rules. And I'll say, because you're using your weaver's tools, I'll let you have advantage with this one.
Ooh, sick.
You're using your tools.
Because the tools, it's usually like a check and then like proficiency. So.
Ooh, get out! It's a natural one.
All right. That's why you have advantage.
And 15? 20.
Yeah. Sure.
Yay.
Yeah. I'll say that you managed, maybe because your fingers are still a little wet, and it's also the first time you haven't had your chains on. That's kind of like it's a little wet, but you managed to find your groove and to kind of start making quick work as you fix what needs to be fixed.
Your claw gets stuck in it and almost puts a hole in it.
But you managed to stop. Yes, exactly.
No, I'm using it as a seam ripper. Come on.
Perfect.
Use it. Just uses the pinky.
Oh.
Uses the pinky.
I royally fucked that up.
And Shune's just on your head, Kodak, just kind of like jumping on your head. It's just like just watching you work.
Lain has pulled this like worn ivory comb out of just like very basic like strong comb out of their bag, and is just has undone the braid, which now there's just like red brown hair just spilling out on the ground around them. Like it's even longer out of the braid. There's a lot of it, and they're just brushing it out, trying to get the detritus and such from the battle out of it, so they can rebraid it.
Yes, Adeline?
Does she see this?
I mean, you're all within like 5-10 feet within each other, so I'd say yes.
Okay, she sees her trying to fix the hair and just immediately goes.
Beelines
and just starts like immediately braiding.
Well, no, she's not gonna touch her yet until she like, talks to her or whatever. And she's just
Okay.
like, oh, Lain, I see you have a problem with your hair. Do you need
It's a
any
little
assistance?
everywhere after the battle.
Yes, well, you were in the water, so. Do you need any help?
She kind of like looks down at it, and you can see that like what she's done with her hair in the past it's very basic. It's very much just I don't want this to mat, so I'm going to brush it and throw it back in a braid. She doesn't really know how to actually like deal with it that much, other than like separating the front and the back, and she's just like, I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, so if you have a better idea.
I promise it won't be something that is too complicated, just something to help it get back from your face. You have a nice face.
The cheeks will color a bit, and she'll just kind of avert her eyes and like hold out the comb.
Yeah, and then she'll take it and just start from the bottom and brush it up from like the bottom, working her way up, and she'll do like 2 little braids on the sides, like on the front pieces of her hair, and then puts them back into like the rest of her hair and makes one big braid out of that one, and then just plops it over her shoulder before dusting off her hands and just going, all right then, that should be more practical.
Oh, Jesus, thanks. Do you need me to like? I mean, I don't really know how to do hair, but I can help with yours or something if you want.
Oh, my hair's quite all right. I really don't want anyone touching it, if that's all right.
Was there anything else you might need? You get the feeling that she feels weird about like, hey, somebody has done me a favor and I don't know how to repay them.
There's one thing. I noticed you are quite good with magic.
A little bit.
Well, I kind of had a mishap with one of my spells, and was hoping maybe to find something a little bit more useful. Maybe something you could teach me.
I mean, I can certainly try. I mean, most of what I know, it's not really what I know, but...
And I could give you a spell in exchange. Spell for spell.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly be willing to try. What do you want to know?
DM, what do I want to know?
Yeah, no, I'd say that because this is your first time using the blade, I think actually make an Arcana check for me with your blade, your new blade. And Lain, also give me an Arcana check with your blade as well, which I'll say, Lain, you get advantage because of how long you've had yours.
And also, you can talk to me.
I got a 5.
It's
You got a 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Shake up my dice. Get the glitter flowing.
Good or flowing. Okay, cool.
It's a liquid core.
Nice. I love it.
All
I
the
love
same
liquid core.
things. 18.
18. Okay, cool. You look at your blade, Lain, and then you take a look at Adeline's, and I think this is the first time everyone can see and notice the new blade that Adeline has. It is quite magnificent. It's got the blue jeweled handle, and the kind of blade kind of has the shape of kind of the wave from the sea, and it also has a tint of blue itself, as if crafted from the waves of the ocean itself. And you feel your blade pulse in your hand again, as you hear the silvery fox once more whisper in your ear, Lain. I suppose maybe we could help a fair lady out. Give her a bit of advantage next time.
A bit of a smile will spread across her face, and she'll look over at Adeline and go, I might just have the person to help. And she'll kind of do another, like, kind of grabby hand motion, like, gesturing towards her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And she just, like, reaches out as she's, like, so curious.
Kodak, yes?
I know Lain is still, like, haggard from all of this. Can I volunteer as, like, a sparring dummy?
A sparring dummy? What do you think is going to happen? What's going through your head right now, Kodak?
I don't want to hurt him.
I'm gonna pick up a mop handle. So
That's what she was gonna do, but all right.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We just have a battle, and then we have another battle downstairs.
No, I'll say for time's sake that you kind of reach for Adelaide's hand, Lain, and the moment your hands touch, you kind of feel your blade kind of pull up, as well as Adeline, you feel the magic surge of your blade go up and touch Lain's blade as well.
I had a thing for it, but
oh, okay. Sorry. Do you want me to?
No, you're good. I was just gonna say she takes Adeline kind of offers out her hand. She's gonna like put her hand on top of Adeline's and then put it on the sword, kind of like wrapping it around kind of the pommel of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll kind of she's sitting sort of cross-legged, and she kind of will just kind of settle, close her eyes. She's holding on to kind of the scabbard as well. And she will, internally she'll say, talking to her sword, will go, okay, Captain, what do you think we can do for her?
And it's at that moment that then everyone then kind of sees kind of fog appears out of nowhere as it starts to swirl a little bit between the two blades. Not heavy like the storm, but starts to kind of swirl. And then as the fog gets a little bit thicker and starts to disappear, you see the fog kind of shapes into a figure, looking once again this silvery old fox that just has the white hair, nice white beard, kind of a scar on his face, and a coy smile as he looks at you, Lain, and then looks at Adeline, bows his head. He reaches and touches the two blades, and both of them start to vibrate a little bit, as you then see both hands kind of glow in power, like these colorful orbs. One is more pure yellow, the other is more pure white. And you see as he takes these orbs, looks at them, crosses his hands, and places them on both of your blades. And at that point, your blades vibrate with power in those opposite colors. And after a moment, it starts to fade away. The captain looks up, looks at you both, turns to you, Adeline, and says, I believe this should do the trick. But practice, my dear, is key. It will get you to survive for only so long. Keep up at it. And then looks at you, Lain, and just nods and says, always proud of you, my dear. And then wisps away. And for D&D's sake, what has happened now is that Adeline, you have essentially received the cantrip Eldritch Blast from Lain's sword. And Lain, in return, you have received lightning lore from Adeline's sword.
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah, I love lightning lore.
Hell yeah!
I love an Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
Yep.
Blast.
She's gonna look at Lain and be like, "Who is that?"
Oh.
This big, like, proud, almost like peacocking grin kind of spreads across Lane's face. I almost like the idea that the sword was like partially out of the scabbard. And as she kind of releases your hand, she kind of shunts the sword back into the scabbard and will lean it back over her shoulder, and she goes, Captain Nathaniel Lain, Pirate King of the Seven Seas. Or, well, I don't actually know if it's the Seven Seas, but Pirate King.
Oh. There is a lot to unpack there, but I'm very tired.
I'd say just from a shadowy corner, you see Craith's eyes just glinting as all this is going on. And after he dissipates back into the smoke, you just hear, "Oh, why is it creepy when I emerge from the shadows to offer assistance? But when he does it, it's, ooh, ah, look at the silver-haired man."
And then Adeline's gonna turn her head slowly and just go, presentation.
Craith, you hear Mirage's voice in your head and says, just like the lady said, presentation can be key. And maybe next time you won't scare the piss out of that pirate lad from before. As you turn and you look, because now it's still the night, Mirage is still in her mermaid form, but she is desperately trying to dry herself so that she can get back to her human form. But she has not been able to do so because of the storm from outside. She's like, heckin' Christ, this is not gonna go away. Shit. And she's just Webby.
When Adeline says that, Lain just is behind you, just peeking out, and she just starts like wheeze laughing.
I think when that whole blade thing with their blades happened, Dagon was probably like sitting on a barrel like in the corner and sees that happening, and he just kind of looks down at his daggers and then looks back up at the blades, and he just kind of shakes his head like, well, I feel boring. And just kind of like sheathes his blades.
Why can't you be cool?
Like, well, shit.
Question.
Yes.
As far as prestidigitation, could prestidigitation be used to help Mirage dry off?
Oh. Hold on. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I hate that. Fuck.
No. Really?
Not the eye makeup now!
It's not just the eye makeup, but if you can't tell, I'm wearing hazel brown contacts, so it's not my normal contacts, so I'm like, woo! Woo! Okay, I think I'm fine. Hopefully I don't cry my makeup off.
Is there something in my eye, or is it the thing that's in my eye?
Yeah, right? You can chill, warm, or flavor up a cube of a non-living material for one. Yeah, I'll say for prestidigitation, If you're looking to specifically warm up or to kind of dry off, maybe there's something in the room that you can warm up essentially to put on Mirage or for Mirage to hold. Unfortunately, Mirage did lose her cloak in the fight because the water elemental tore it up, and also when she was doing the death roll from Kodak. So
You can also use prestidigitation to like clean things. So
exactly, it's to clean, but she would still be kind of wet, so it would still take a while. So
it's still the night, right?
It's still the night. Yeah, I retconned it because of the night because I loved the RPing so much, and it makes much more sense for the story. So it's nighttime.
Then Craith from the shadows is going to cast invisibility on himself. And I need my sheet. Where's my character sheet? There it is. Yeah, live in fear. Craith can turn invisible.
oh my lord.
And then he's going to make his way up out from below deck. But as he's passing, he's going to prestidigitate and warm up a blanket and drop it at Mirage's feet, but still invisible, and just keep walking.
Is this in front of Mirage or is this behind Mirage?
Behind.
Behind. Okay, then.
So, like, he's gonna walk.
Is there any chance we could have seen him turn invisible or not?
He was hiding in the shadows.
Yeah.
You could pretty much just
But
see
you
his
were
eyes.
talking to us, so
Yeah. You also are. Yeah, you got. I think a good portion of you were distracted with the exchange between Lain and Adeline. That I'll let Craith have this one, but
use my own captain smoke to your advantage. How dare you?
Craith, I need you to roll me stealth with advantage.
It's not great, but that roll is pretty good. That's gonna be a 19.
19. Cool. Awesome.
So that one and a 17. So
good thing you had the advantage. So you grab a blanket, you drop it behind Mirage.
So like as he's gonna walk behind her, but like toss the blanket out in front of her.
So to toss, so that way she can turn and look behind and see nothing there.
Correct.
Okay.
And then he's up and out onto the deck. How long does invisibility last?
As long as you don't cast a spell or don't get attacked, I think it can last for about an hour.
Yes, it's up to an hour.
Okay. Craith.
Yeah.
You hear Mirage's voice in your head. You know, you could act nice and be visible about it. You don't have to hide that you have a soft boy heart. Also, I know you knew about that pearl way before you talked to that group. We need to have a chat about that. But she will just pick up the blanket and put it over herself.
Can he respond?
Yeah, you can respond to message. You are allowed to.
I can never remember which one's which. Okay. So Mirage will just hear back.
Yes, I did know about the pearl. But more to your first point. Why be good when it's so much more fun to be bad?
Back
And at
really
that-
quick.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Sorry, I was thinking. You hear back one more time in your head. I think one day you'll find the joy of being good. Just like I did. And wraps the cloak around her body, but lets you go.
As soon as he's up the stairs or whatever and about to be up on deck, he's going to just snap and all the lights in the below deck go out.
You
Okay. All right. How does everybody react to the lights going out below deck?
I don't think Dagon would have much of a reaction. He's always in the shadows, in the dark, so I don't think he would have. He would just be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But
Lain can see in the dark, so she just like blinks in confusion. Is like, what? Why did everything go gray zone?
Did you guys overdo it over there?
Mirage perks up. It could be the storm. Just, it'll be fixed. Give until morning. And you now turn and look, and you see Mirage now has this big blanket around her body as she's trying to warm herself up.
Well, I do have
Adeline cannot see in the dark.
Goes,
And just starts reaching for whoever is closest.
Which is probably me.
I don't know if Kodak has moved.
I'm just imagining I'm sitting between you and Kodak, and you both just go and just hug me in fright.
Yeah. With that happening, I think Sheila goes down below deck, and it's just like, did the storm get the lights too? Well, nothing much for it to be done but to wait till morning. Hope you don't mind. This is best place to have you all, given the circumstances. And with all the damage in the ship, I don't know if I'll be able to travel with you in morning. If we want to get out of here, I need to stay behind. Is that okay?
Quite all right. I understand.
I mean, do what you gotta do. We're looking for someone for you, right? Who is that, by the way?
Oh, my apologies. How could I forget? Give me 1 second as I look up the name. How do you pronounce this motherfucker's name? He's not a motherfucker, I'm sorry. I'm just like, what's the name? What is the name? I can't remember the name. Okay, here we go.
What's in the box?
He answers to motherfucker. That's all you need to know.
No, that's Craith. Sorry, I had to do it. Oh, yes, Captain Aaron Hest. He was my first captain when I started sailing in the waters, and my first mentor, if you understand.
I understand that.
And I'm pretty sure maybe his crew was looking for the pearl as well. I know some of my crew members looking up, and some of the pirates have poked their heads, like, boop, and back their head up and then bump into each other and just run back towards the main deck. Still interested in that damn pearl. But that's not our mission right now. We're here to rescue, not to steal. And she says that out loud enough for those below and above can hear.
Well, as far as the rescuing goes, we'll do our best with that. Stealing goes, also do our best at that. But we'll try to do our best to find your wayward captain.
I appreciate the thought.
By the way, did you need any help above deck? I'm quite used to being aboard ship and all that, and quite frankly, I'm a bit too wired to sleep just yet. You need some help.
Dagon, roll me an insight.
Oh boy. 14.
You see Sheila smile, and you see this look in her eyes of, again, maybe seeing someone from long ago. I appreciate the thought, dear, but we have more than enough above deck. Besides, they need to do some work given how lazy and scared they were to defeat a water elemental all their own.
Well, what can you do? Takes a bit of experience to roughen some fellows up. So, give them a bit of time. They'll be fine.
Indeed.
But would you mind if I take a couple laps around? I don't sleep much, and well, I just need to walk. I need to walk the night off a bit. Just take a couple laps.
That's totally fine. Just as long as you don't make anyone cry, as I heard that tiefling of yours made Darren scared.
Well, I haven't known him very long, but from what I can gather, I believe that's a common occurrence, so I apologize. No, just hopefully it won't happen again. I'll do my best.
Good, because if he does, I will cut his throat myself.
I wouldn't blame you, to be honest.
And just steps out of the way for you to go do your laps.
Yeah, Dagon just feels a bit like... He doesn't... I don't imagine he sleeps much. He gets, like, enough in, and then that's it. He's a night owl, so he gets enough sleep for a long rest, but other than that, he's doing a couple laps in the moonlight.
Sheila will look to you, Adeline, and say, I'm glad that you remembered. I was a bit worried there, but you managed to remember on your own. And you see her looking down at that blue blade. It's been ages since I've seen that thing.
What more do you know of it?
I don't know if it would be in my place to tell, given that... Have you heard it yet?
I have.
But what did you hear?
It was glad to be in the hands of one who had the same blood.
You see Sheila kind of shakes her head and says, there's more to discover, but I can't help you there. There should have been a note with that. Do around your bag. Maybe you'll find it. And, glad that, your mammy's not tampered as it was before. And then walks out.
Lane's been pretending she's doing something else, but she's like pushed the hair back away from her big elf ear and has been listening into this. She's like, more magic swords, ooh.
She's immediately just gonna go start digging through her bag.
Alright, you start digging through your bag. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Why am I rolling like crap tonight? 9.
9. I'd say it takes a little while. You're digging through. I think you accidentally throw out a few things here and there that maybe don't matter that much to you, but everyone else you see, wait, she's throwing away necklace. Wait, what's that big dress that was in that? How did the bag hold so much? And you can't find it, and you get a little bit frustrated as
like holding up the dress, like comparing it to herself.
You get a little bit frustrated as you can't seem to find it quite yet. And then Mirage says, I don't know how much it'll help, but do you want me to try?
Oh, Yes.
She kind of motions for you to come. It's still dark, so either like, come to my voice. I'm over here, and kind of just
Okay.
motions for you to come
Just,
forward.
shuffles
The voice.
over.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
A natural 20.
Nice. So you managed to whoop, 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 and kind of get almost nose to nose with Mirage before almost running into her. And you also were very careful to not step on her tail, as she is still in her mermaid form. It's like, okay. And she outstretches her hand, and you see kind of her coral pearl necklace with the jade stone glows up a little bit as her scales of white and green and purple and even her different colored eyes glow again as the power goes down through her right arm, out her right hand, and you see thorns and vines grasp out of it as essentially she casts Thorn Whip, and the thorns and weaves go into the bag. Let's see. Okay.
When they get to nose, Lane's gonna cast Minor Illusion, so like they get like the K-drama like rose petals and sparkles around them.
Mirage turns and looks to you, Lain.
Just cleaning my nails. Nothing to see here.
And then kind of digs through, and then you see the it takes a little bit of time for these thorns and vines to dig in, and then they start retreating back up, and then in Mirage's hand is an envelope that it does have a pierced hole on the corner, but it doesn't seem to have done much damage, and just is like, here.
And she'll take it.
And then very quickly she grasps your hand. It's like, oh, sorry, do you mind if I check something?
And she hesitates for a moment, thinking about, is this the one that was in my room? Is this the one that was? She's like so confused, and then she just shakes her head and just goes, yes.
All right. And then she goes to reach and touch your cheek. And let's see. She touches it, and you kind of feel this warmth on your cheek. And you just kind of feel like there are like tiny bits of sparks on your face. Like kind of like crackling like embers from a fire. And then you notice that Mirage pulls her hand away from your face, and you see little sparks and bits and pieces of magic, but it's dark, it's blacky, it's inky kind of void with flecks of purple and yellow throughout. It's like, looks like someone tried to charm you.
Someone.
Did anything weird happen earlier today? Things you couldn't explain?
Well, the young lady that I thought was serving me had changed, or not really, but there was two of them at one point, and one of them had a gold around their eyes.
Gold in her eyes?
Yes.
Was it Caroline, the one you spoke of?
But I thought that was you.
Well, to be fair, I was her at one point, but that was merely to get you out. I was not there beforehand. She's without tricks again. And you see Mirage kind of tense up as the magic dissipates in her hand. She's like, Always trying to get one step forward, isn't she?
Who?
The one that I mentioned earlier. I'm sorry to say, but she has quite a bit of magic. Even one where she can be anybody she wants to be. And there's a chance that you might have encountered her at Bell's Tavern. Because this is her magic. Black, purple, and yellow.
What does she want with me?
I don't know. And you see she kind of pounds at her, like, what would be her thighs, but as her tail is just like she's frustrated that this thing seems to have an upper advantage. Till I wasn't able to notice till now. Am I that weak?
You're not weak, dear.
I appreciate the thought. But we're not going to do much with this storm. Maybe it's time we all get some sleep.
Rest is always good.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before you turn in for the night?
Eventually, Dagon will make his way below deck after a couple hours of wandering, doing some laps.
Mm-hmm. And, dear Craith?
Craith snuck his way up into the crow's nest, and would anybody have been up there?
Probably the lookout.
I'd say Sheila has asked everybody to, because most of the damage happened on the side of the deck and around the ship, that nobody's at the lookout right now.
Okay, so yeah, Craith settles in up there. He's got something for the morning.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Travis.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm not taking another potion. Somebody else's turn.
All right.
Did you die?
So we now transfer now to the early morning. You have all rested. You have all gotten your long rest. And double checking, is everyone still below deck? Or, Craith, are you still up on that crow's nest?
Craith is still up in the crow's nest.
So you be sleeping in the pouring rain throughout the entire night?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Constitution saving throw.
He's like, I run hot. This is refreshing.
Actually, yeah, no, that's right. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
No, it's something about.
If it's an enclosed crow's nest, he just wakes up in like a big bucket of water, basically.
Con save, you said?
Yes.
That is going to be a 23.
Okay.
Ooh, damn it.
Well, here's the thing. You do manage to wake up. I say you wake up before everyone else because you're like, and you open your eyes and you notice that your nose is now beneath the water because water has gathered up throughout the night. So you wake up to having nearly choked, drowning. So I'd say you wake up before everybody else.
So yeah, at that, he's going to shake himself off, kind of swing his legs over and sit on the edge of the crow's nest there with his tail wrapped around the mast to hold him there.
Mm-hmm.
And is just going to... First, he's going to press the digitator's close and try to dry himself off a bit. But then as he's waiting on everyone else to wake up and people are scurrying around the deck in the early morning, this is fucked. He's taking his knife, and as someone walks by, he's throwing it at them as hard as he can. But just before it gets to them, because that's his returning weapon from his infusion, so he's as it's coming, and it just snaps back into his hand. So he's just throwing a knife at people, and having it return back before it actually hits anyone.
All right, I need you to make me a stealth check to make sure you do not get caught doing this.
I was going to say I would probably be the second person up.
Yeah, because do you only need like 4 hours of sleep, or?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's an early riser.
Okay.
That's an 18. No, wait, yes, 18. Sorry.
Okay.
If he's up in time, he might see this.
Okay.
I also only need 4 hours of
He's not
sleep.
trying to keep it a secret. He's not hurting anyone. He's just scaring them a little.
I'd say that you managed to kind of do it, but you do it like behind their back so nobody notices it. And then, Dagon, you wake up, and I need you to make me a perception check for me.
Perception?
Yeah.
Gremlin throwing knives at people.
17.
Ooh. And his stealth was an 18. So I'd say you're hearing like the whoosh, whoosh. You're hearing the whoosh of the knife going through the wind, but you can't see what's going on because it goes so far and then goes right back up. But you can't see that within the fog and everything like that. You do see, however, even though it's still the middle of the storm, it's a little bit better than it was last night, but still the middle of the storm, kind of some gulls circling around going like, ah, 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 ah. And then there's one that you see that are just kind of like flapping double times, just like, ah, 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 and just starts flying like around, and then does a dive to the side of the boat, and then we cut to below deck when everyone hears a bonk on one of the portholes. Bonk! What do you do when you awake to a dunk at a porthole, everybody else below deck? Oh, fuck! Donk! You look and you see there's a seagull that's just going donk, hitting the porthole.
Lane's been sleeping like curled, like holding, cuddling her sword, and then she like that happens. She's like, like draws the sword.
Yeah, and then you hear Judy like, and just starts like poking at the porthole while you still hear the donk. And then Mirage is
half
like,
asleep casting Speak with Animals. Like, what is happening?
Let it in! Let it in! He's gonna hurt himself! Donk!
Okay.
Mirage is like, well, somebody
Open the
fucking open
window.
that portal! As she wakes up very sleepily and like tries to rub her eyes.
I'll open the window.
Adeline flails, and her arm just like flails onto whoever's next to her, and then just like looks up.
I'll say you're next to Kodak at this point.
Yep.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Stumble over and open the window.
You open the window and you just see bonk as the seagull hits the other side of the wall and just goes like falls down, seemingly unconscious from hitting its head so hard.
Oh shit.
Dagon and Craith, do you head downstairs after seeing that goal?
I do. I think he was originally going to see where Craith went because he noticed Craith wasn't below deck in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They walk down to see me crouch down, poking it gently with the edge of my scabbard, going, hey, are you alive? Hey.
I gotta wait for Craith to see what he does.
Sorry, no. Craith is still up in the crow's nest taunting people with a knife.
Do
He's
I
not
see
gonna
him?
come down.
Do I see this? Like, can I, like, shout at him?
Well, you still don't know where he is. I'll let you have one more perception check to see if you can then spot him.
Seeing the seagulls flying around, like, I probably would look up.
You would look up, which I would say you get another perception check to see him.
That's a 27.
Okay, yeah, you see Craith. You now see Craith at this point. You see the seagull kind of go below deck and go bonk,
Look at
bonk.
mid-throw. And I go, potions, knives, you're full of surprises, aren't you?
And you're yelling this up to him because he's so far up.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm not hurting anyone. Yet.
Well, it's
I'm
pretty
guessing
funny.
you want me to
I'm not gonna
stop,
lie.
don't you?
Sadly, yes. It is pretty funny. But Sheila might kick my ass if I let you do it. So please come down. Normally, I'm not opposed to a lady kicking my ass, but in this situation, I don't really want it.
And he's going to scale down the mast somewhat quickly, almost creepily, how fast he climbs down the mast. And as he's walking,
Dagon is just like...
And then without breaking stride, he's going to walk past Dagon and just go, well, since you asked so nicely. And he'll make his way downstairs.
I think you owe me one after that whole potion incident yesterday.
He'll turn around. I'm sorry. My memory is not what it used to be. Did you die?
No, but it was quite the shock. You can imagine. I'm used to being a certain size.
Well, there's no shame in that. Well, it was quite shocking for me as well. I had no idea what was going to happen to you. I suppose we should get on with the day.
I don't know if I'm horrified or impressed. I still don't know.
Sometimes it's hard for me to make that distinction, my dear.
And you both head downstairs.
Follows Craith downstairs.
Yep. You then both head down, so everyone is down to seeing Lain poke at an unconscious Gull with her scabbard. Like, hello?
What the hell's going on?
You good?
And then
you good?
You keep poking it.
You just hears me squawking at it.
Yeah, you're trying to squawk it. You poke, and then it just pops back up, just like. Oh. Hello there. Hi.
Hi.
Why is my head hurt? Just like rubs their head with their wing.
You hit it on something.
Apparently I did. Well, no more rain inside. It just kind of like waddle. It just looks at you all. It's just like.
Is he saying anything? He says this to Lain. He's saying anything?
Not much. Did turn back to the bird. Did you feel a need to come inside? You were kind of knocking on that window pretty hard.
I mean, it was raining hard. Looking for shelter. And
fair.
Crap. Something else. And just kind of like pats his wing on its head as it walks like back and forth, trying to remember what it was trying to do. Because it hit his head so much. Well, it was something. Something.
Food?
And Mirage will cast... hold on, where is it? It's somewhere around here. Where is it? We'll cast Speak with Animals as well.
Everyone.
And it's like, excuse me there. And Gull's like, oh, hello! It's like, hi. First off, my name's Mirage. Do you have a name? It looks blankly at Mirage. I don't think so. Would you like to have a name? Okay. And just waits patiently. It's like Mirage looks at the crew. It's like, I'm shite at names. Got any good ideas?
Sven?
Ben?
Ben. Good as name as any, I suppose.
Sven. 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 It just starts happy dancing. Because the new name that you've given it. Sven.
Is it too late to rename it Breakfast?
Yes.
Hears you say that, it just hides behind Mirage. Scary. Scary. Mirage eyes you, Craith, and says, yes, apparently so, because it's quite attached to it, and does not want any other name that associates with death. So be kind and shut up for a moment.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mirage is like, it's all right. He won't hurt you. And Mirage was like, okay. Thank you. You seem all nice and everything like that. Such nice folks. Folks. That's right. And then you just see it start to open up its mouth really, really big. And you see kind of like, and it chokes out a little sending stone that was lodged inside its throat.
Dagon heave just goes.
It's like
he didn't puke, but he just.
All right, then touch it.
Craith would walk over and pick it up without a second thought.
Oh my god.
Like Chun is like on my shoulder. I'm just like whispering to her. I'm like, I know it's a cool parlor trick. Do not replicate this at home.
Oh, I never want to.
Dagon looks at Adeline and just in a what the fuck expression, just like.
Craith, as soon as you grab the sending stone and pick it up, still got excuse everybody for some of the, liquid around it because it was lodged in a throat. You see it activate, and it's got a nice kind of blue glow around it. And you hear the following message.
Oh boy.
This is a message from Lucian Skyhorn from the lighthouse. We've been attacked by creatures of the sea. Please send help before it's too late. I beg anyone who hears this.
And then the glow fades away, and it's just a stone.
That's right. That's what I was supposed to do. A message.
Was it Lucian?
Lucian
Skyhorn.
That's
I'm
right.
still waking up a bit. Do we know that person?
Mirage speaks up and says, he's the owner of the lighthouse. A bit of a shut-in, actually. But seems like he seems to be in danger as well. We might need to make a little stop along the way.
I mean, we were coming here to look for other people. Might as well look for one more.
An awfully lot of people.
Very true. Yeah. Oh, that's
Meanwhile,
right.
Craith is scraping off bile from the sending stone into a little jar.
Of course he is.
Dagon
Surely
looks
this
at
will be
him and
useful.
goes, Seriously.
Yeah.
What could you possibly use that for?
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, but do you remember the potion you drank yesterday?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dagon
Travis.
is fighting, like, he's fighting the urge to vomit.
Do we need to set up a Craith jar for every creepy thing Craith says he has to put a nickel in the jar? Because so
There's
far I
not
think
enough
it's halfway
nickels.
filled.
Put it in the Craith jar.
We need multiple jars. Yeah. And I'll say real quick, Adeline, you remember that you had the letter that you received, but we're too tired. You never checked it out.
Yep.
Do you still want to check that out?
Yes, but I'm going to scurry away from the group.
Yes. Cool. You scurry away. You find the letter with the one little piercing hole. Give me a history check.
Okay. 23.
You see the hole, and you look at your boot, and it has the same little hole, like the same size. So Mirage was the one that tripped you, trying to get you out of the Bell's Tavern. That's what you put together in your head.
Yeah.
Don't like this lady.
Again, Mirage is on your side.
She just says weird cryptic shit.
Nothing to me whatsoever.
She's like, at least she was honest about it, but like,
I'm still sus.
Yep.
She's on our side, but at what cost?
Yeah, so but then that's a passing thought. You're like, store that for later. You open the letter.
Yep.
It's blank. You don't see anything on it. Make me an Arcana check.
Of course.
Please, God.
I need lemons. I need lemons now. Natural history side.
11.
We're about to like national treasure this letter.
Yeah, you think you wonder why it would be stuffed in your bag, especially because it was like so important, but you don't think you can understand it, not unless you have some kind of help, but you don't know exactly what that is at the moment. But at the moment you hear, all right, well, I guess we better get on our way. You okay there, Adeline? As Mirage speaks to you.
She stuffs it and then stuffs it into her shirt and turns around. Yes. Quite.
I was like leaning, kind of peeking at it. Would I have recognized if it's like what language or whatever it said?
It's blank. There's no language on it.
It's blank. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mirage looks at you, Adeline, is like, are you okay?
Later, dear. Please.
Looks down at your feet, looks up, and you hear in your head, for what it's worth, I am sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Could we have seen all that?
Yeah, but you don't hear the talking. You just see the intense eye contact between Adeline and Mirage.
Okay. But I can like we feel the vibes at all.
Make me an insight check.
Make a vibe check.
Make a vibe check.
Pretty strong vibe. Nope. I don't feel vibes.
Sorry.
No vibes.
No vibes.
You are not invited to the House of Vibe.
That's a 10. So I just see the conversation.
You just see the intense eye contact between the two as no words are spoken. At that, Sheila kind of goes down and is like, all right, like I said, I have to stay aboard, keep damage of the ship. Sorry, Mirage, this is all I could do. And gives Mirage a cloak, but there's no cover on top of it. And Mirage is like, there's no way to... It's like, I don't have any sewing skills, my dear. You know better than that. Webby. And Adeline. Webby and Adeline, I see your hands up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I came in with a cloak when I snuck off that ship
You
into
did.
Pearlport.
You did. Did you take it with you? Did you put it in your
Yes.
bag of holding? Okay.
It's in my bag of holding.
Okay. There's that.
Do I have to do an investigation check to find it?
I'd say no, because you know
Okay.
this and you know where it is. Webby,
Yep.
did you want to say anything?
I'm gonna say like when Adeline kind of scuttled off, so did Kodak, and he returns in a new outfit.
Yes. Describe this new
Hey.
outfit for everybody.
I will, and I will give pictures.
Yes, pictures, please.
Yes.
So Kodak disappears for like 5 minutes. And I'll say like in a private room somewhere in like the bathroom, he pulls out this footlocker that he's been carrying around the whole time. And he takes off and shakes the dust out of this long blue tunic. Which at one time would have been given to him in the hopes that he would grow into it. So it was a little big and baggy on him when he was a kid. And he shows up now in like the belts and the necklaces, and he just looks better. Like his face isn't as sallow, he's got color in his cheeks, and like hustling up to the group as everyone's like shoving. What are we doing?
Dagon sees you rushing up in your new outfit, and he goes, I like the look. What color suits you?
Yeah. Hated maybe, but it works.
It's quite gallant.
I like it.
I think it looks very nice.
I love it.
We all look at Craith so that he can give Kodak a compliment. Use your words, Socio.
Be nice.
Really brings out your teeth.
I'll take it. It works.
Better than nothing, right?
You have a nice smile.
That's what we call
nice.
nice.
Love it. Okay, cool. So you're all like in that kind of that awe of Kodak in their new form, and Adeline, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, and go through your bag and you find your cloak.
And she walks over to Mirage and be like, it's not the same as your old one, but it will do the trick.
But what about you? You don't want to get wet now, do you?
Yes, but when I get damp, I don't really transform into anything different, so
Fair enough. And makes the exchange with you. So you have the other cloak, but it has no hood. And Mirage puts on yours, drapes the hood over her head. I knew it was a good idea to wear this today.
Adeline's like, wet hair, don't care.
And you then just kind of hear it being like, "Hi, are you gonna go help Lucian then? Good. If you don't mind, I'm gonna stay here." And then just kind of like hops towards the back, and she was like, why did what? What?
I don't fully understand either.
But Sven,
Sven?
Yes, his name's Sven.
She looks towards Mirage, and Mirage is like, what? It's like, all right, well, Sven can stay here, I guess, since everybody is now having hostage in my ship. All right, well, you all go, see what you can find over at that lighthouse, and get back safe.
We will. Thank you so much for your help.
Of course, thank you for all your help. And it is at that point that you all start making your way off the ship.
Well, actually,
yeah.
Before when we start heading up, Dagon also has a cloak on with a hood. He has it on this whole time. But seeing this whole exchange, and the fact that Adeline does not have a cloak with a hood anymore, he's going to take it off. And as they're walking up, he's going to hand it to her. You need this more than I do, darling. Water doesn't bother me. And just hands it to her. Swap with me.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Hands it over.
And then she puts it on, pulls up the hood, and then takes his arm.
Like suit you.
Oh.
Sorry, the romantic in me is singing right now.
All the sexual tension in the air, I just wish it would dissipate.
I wish you would dissipate.
I like
Be
this
gone.
one.
Be gone, foul demon, be gone! No, but yes. You all then start making your way, it's gonna, off the ship. You start making your way off the ship and heading towards the lighthouse. There's still bits and pieces of thunder and lightning in the background. It's still gonna take a little bit of time to get over to the lighthouse, but you start making your way through the wind and the rain. You're trudging your way up. It's a little bit of a ways. You see maybe in the distance a little bit of a staircase that will go up towards the lighthouse in a sense. Looks a little slippery, but it's still a while. There also seems to be a crumbling stone wall surrounding that area as well. But it's still a little ways in the distance as you all trek and make your way towards the lighthouse. What is the marching order?
Craith is probably in the back.
Okay. Did Kodak want to be in the back?
It's fine. I'll take the front.
Okay.
I'll be.
I'm easy. If you want to be in the back, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll be kind of up front with Kodak then.
Yeah, me too.
I'll be just behind them then.
Okay.
It's just walking slow, bringing up the rear.
Which now means Craith is right behind me, so that's fun.
Oof.
Mirage decides at the first part to stick towards the front since it's made evident that she's kind of been here before and she kind of knows the way of the land and where to go. So she starts making her, so she's kind of traveling right beside with you, Kodak. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't need to. Like going automaton, tell you motion. Die, soldier.
Gotta get used to human legs again.
Yeah, get used to human legs once again. No, she doesn't walk like that. She actually would be kind of pulling the cloak to be around her face and body, but then try to shove her hands like back in the cloak so she doesn't get fully wet. As we all know what can happen if she gets totally drenched. So,
Or no, Emma.
oh no! And I think after a bit, Mirage would kind of, looking up at Kodak and then looking down at their arms, seeing where the remnants of the chains used to be. And you hear Mirage say out loud,
Do they still hurt?
Do they? Do they still hurt?
Well, Lain did add ointment on your skin. So I'd say we're gonna go with that. Maybe this is kind of like the equivalent to like maybe like the day after when you get a sunburn where it's not as painful and the ointment really did help, but there's still a little twinge of like slight tenderness as some of the rain droplets get onto those certain points on your skin. Just a little bit. Like, it's really not that painful. You just notice that they're there.
It's fine for now. I'm sure it's really going to be a bitch in like 3 days, though.
Well, you look better without chains.
I'll take your word for it.
And I also appreciate you not biting my head off earlier. I was afraid you might.
Still might be.
I apologize.
Josh shakes her head. You're acting out of defense, trying to protect.
You're right. Give use.
And then you hear in your head, Kodak, as Mirage does not say this out loud. I'm glad that you have your freedom again. You don't realize what a beautiful gift it is until it's gone. And give me an insight check real quick.
Where 17.
17. You take a look at Mirage's different colored eyes, and you recognize a ping of sadness and kind of reminiscent of being entrapped, as if she can understand where you came from.
Patrick of Phantom Chains.
I think Kodak reaches into his pocket and pulls out some small little, like, woven rope bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
Just little strings and over travels from different places and just pulled into something. And he like takes it and like taps it in his hand and then hands it over to her. A reminder of our freedom. And on the end of it, like where it would sit on your wrist, is one of the chain links that has been braided into it, but it is broken.
You see, she silently puts it on. To our freedom.
I'll say Lain is like right behind them listening to all this. Just like quietly as we walk, her sleeves are kind of big long sleeves are sort of together to help shield her hands from the rain a little bit and keep them warm, but she's listening to all this talk of chains and freedom and so on. She's just kind of looking off at into the distance, rubbing at the...
That was in message. So that last part.
Oh, I thought the very first part was not. So.
The first part about talking chains, but not the part of Mirage understanding entrapment. Though I will say, Kodak will have probably said out loud a reminder of our freedom and to our freedom. That is what you
Gotcha.
heard.
Yeah, that in the very beginning. Like, she's just kind of looking off at the landscape as we're walking, just kind of rubbing the faint scarring on the wrists as she's listening.
That's bold to not be paying attention with Craith behind you.
Oof.
Travis,
Oh,
don't
well.
scare people
If you
in
want to do
real
something,
life.
like your one chance.
Yeah, I haven't had Craith hadn't had an interaction with Lain yet. That'll be fun. Hang on. I gotta
You
get
want
to my
that to
notes.
happen? Do you want that to
dragged away
happen
from the
now,
group.
or are you going to save that for later, my good friend?
Oh God.
Let's save it for later.
All right. So then
I
you
will
start
say-
making. Yeah.
I was just going to say that while we're walking up, and whenever we approach wherever we're going, Dagon is going to like looking around and observing and checking for things, making sure we're all good. He's going to be surveilling the landscape, basically.
Smart. Yeah. Make a perception check for me as you
Okay.
start making your way up.
Oh yeah. $26.
26. Cool. So you're all making your way, Dagon, kind of with your eagle eye vision, scanning area even through the storm. You do seem to notice as you're walking ahead, if you end up managing going towards the front, you do see slight traces of footprints in front of you. But they don't look humanoid. They seem to be enlarged and kind of have little like pokes at the front as if claws had dug into it, or what would they be, claws? There'd be like a little bit of like points. It doesn't seem like to be a human foot by any means.
Dagon, he's kind of made his way to the front. Seeing that, is going to put a hand out to like stop the crew, looking down at the footprints. He's going to go, wait. Let me check something.
Okay.
He's going to go look at the footprints and see if he can tell if he knows what made that print. Would he know?
Make me an either investigation or history.
Okay.
Since Adeline was with Dagon, and they go ahead, she's going to fall back and stand next to Kodak.
Okay.
That's a 13.
13. So you take a look at this foot. Like I said, it's not humanoid whatsoever, but you look at it and you kind of see a long, elongated print that just seems to kind of be somewhat of an oval, but then come up to a point at the top. And it looks familiar to you.
Familiar?
As familiar.
Okay.
You start racking your brain trying to figure out what it was, when then all of a sudden you all hear a
What the shit?
as you look up, and you then see now standing in front of you, because you've walked so far, a gate door kind of swinging open from the breeze, and you hear the terrifying crackling sounds, shrills even, of enemies fought before. As a few hundred feet away from you, you behold the lighthouse. And that's where we'll take a break.
Jesus. Jesus.
Lord.